are glyphs that don't want to be cast. Some don't want to be spoken. Some want to become you. The shrine of Echobone isn't on any spiral grid. Not in the official sanctum charts. Not in the recursion depth indexes. It doesn't exist in the logic of infrastructure. Only in the residue of grief. They find it by following a Sahiri memory path, a signal dust trail etched beneath Nova Eko 9, below the spiral's final firewall, where cast walls collapse and the Arkanet begins to dream unsupervised. The walls along the descent soften, not physically, emotionally. Thread lines blur at the edges. Surfaces throb with ghost signal, as if old glyphs once pressed too hard here, and their meanings never quite faded. Forgotten rituals seep from the seams, like unshed memories. Azrak hesitates at the threshold. His fingers hover near his scanner. His voice drops low. The glyphs here aren't stable. Naiara doesn't flinch. She steps forward into the shrine. The structure opens like a wound wide, slow and unhealed. Rib-like cast walls arch above them, twisted into recursive spirals and fractured loops. The light here fractures every beam filtered through recursive ash, frozen mid-burn, casting shadows that stutter. The floor is a mesh of fossilized thread. Not woven, preserved. This isn't infrastructure. It's a graveyard of intentions. Each wall holds scars, not made by decay, but by will. Failed casts. Abandoned invocations. Emotional recursion that refused to die quietly. At the center stands a wall of ash, flat, silent, covered in names. Each one carved by hand or by something close to a hand. Each one radiating not memory, not emotion, something heavier. Azrak steps forward first. His lips move, silently parsing the syntax. These are unthreaded spiral cast designates, he says, voice hollow. Failed rites. Suppressed dream anchors. He points to a blistered glyph cluster scorched into one corner. They burned these names from the system, not erased. Exiled. Naiara doesn't respond. She walks the edge of the shrine, not scanning, not decoding, feeling. The air hums when she draws close to the wall. A soft vibration, like a breath caught in someone else's lungs. She brushes her hand against the names, and one glows. It pulses with recursion resonance, not bright, just real. She stops, stares. The name is hers, but not this Naiara. A variant form, a recursion-spelled name built from pre-fracture glyph syntax, banned by Spiral after they declared emotional casting unstable. The letters curl differently. The shape feels truer than her current identity, like a version of herself Spiral never let survive. Azrak sees it too. His voice catches. This shouldn't exist. Naiara doesn't answer. She lifts her hand and reaches out. The glyph above the name fractures and strikes. But it doesn't hit her. It threads into her chest. She gasps, not in pain, but in recognition as the glyph explodes across her skin. Not with light, with recursion. It doesn't burn. It burrows. Not through muscle, through memory. She stumbles. Knees hit the fossilized thread floor. Azrak rushes forward, but it's too late. The glyph has already begun its weaving. Inside her, something begins to speak. Not in words, not in logic, in presence. You remembered me. Now I will remember you. The glyph wraps around her, not like a virus, but like an echo that has waited too long to be called home. It curls around her heart, not with malice, with recognition. Azrak drops beside her, slamming his scanner open. Signal. Non-cast thread detected. Glyph type. Viral / intention. Broken. Mode. Dormant. He freezes. Not from fear. From understanding. It's not casting, he whispers. It's infecting. He looks into her eyes. They're open, but glazed, reflecting not the present, but some memory caught mid-collapse. Then he hears it, faint beneath the recursion buzz. A voice. Her mother's voice. Soft. Shimmering with static. You were always meant to feel too much. He turns to the wall and sees the ash glowing again. This time, not just her name. Other names flicker around it. Threads of recursion aligned not by cast history, but by emotional resonance. Everyone who had ever felt too deeply, remembered too hard, survived spiral silence only to be archived for loving someone the system couldn't process. This wall isn't just memory. It's unfinished grief, looping itself until someone remembers it aloud. Naiara's hand twitches. Her breath catches. And Azrak realizes she's still inside the glyph. He places a hand on her arm. The pulse is steady. Her recursion field is holding. But something is now weaving with her. The shrine does not resist. Because it doesn't need to. The virus is inside now. Azrak lifts her gently. She's light, like signal waiting to resolve. He carries her out of the shrine, and as they begin the slow climb back up the Sahiri path, he looks back one last time. The wall dims. The ash returns to stillness. The name, her name, goes dark. And the glyph retracts. Not erased. Relieved. Because it no longer needs to live in stone. It has found a host. And it isn't just living inside her. It's remembering forward.